It's good to, you can say what you need to say, what you think, and the people here accept what you think and listen to you. When I was in my country, if I have a different thing about some stuff, they stop me. Don't talk about this stuff. I just look surprised and why? I need some answer about some question. Maybe in religion, maybe in something is they say this stuff is not for you. This stuff we cannot talk about it. But here in Wales, especially in Cardiff, you cannot make conversation with people about anything. And they give you the time and give you the chance to give them all your idea.
My name's Jordan, I'm 21, I come from Cardiff, I was born and raised inside of Sploth, I currently still live here today. When I was young, growing up I didn't really have a stable family, as you could call it. I didn't really have a mother or a father. So I used to try and find activities to do, like youth centres, playing pool, table tennis, stuff like that. And one day I was going around with a kid called Jake Price, and still good mates to this day. And he brought me to Eastmoors, where we are now. Must have been about 9, 10 at the time, and I come here, Zippy was here, Tim was here, Zippy's brother Cod. There's about 5 staff here, so I come here. First day, went on the stage, started, doing a bit of lyrics, started rapping a few songs. Terrible, honestly terrible. Started all my words, I had a voice like, literally I had the squeakiest voice you could ever imagine. And then every day I used to come back because it used to give me confidence. I used to get on the stage and I'd be performing in front of other rappers, and it built major confidence.
Trydydd fel
they started putting me onto like local shows.
Dwi'n dod o Trwllgoed yn reiddiol, a pan mae fy meibion dechrau ysgol, dwi'n dechrau dysgu Cymraeg achos aethon nhw mynd i'r ysgol Cymraeg. Dechreuais I yn y foundation phase gyda the little children, ble dwi'n dysgu canu Cymraeg, nice one. So mae'n hawdd I siarad i'r ifanc, pobl, plant, neu blwyddyn 4. There's a lovely community in Adamstown Sploth, very multicultural. As you've probably seen, our school is a church school, and we have a high percentage of children of other faiths in our school, and always have been. I've been here for 18 years, and that's how it's always been. Some absolute beautiful families. Yeah, I love it. I don't think I would like to go into the suburbs and work in the suburbs, because I don't think you would get that kind of diversity that you get in our school. Our school is great. As they get older, there can be where they try the test waters, but we've always taught them, we are all one, we are all loved, we're a family, and I think the children believe that here in Trydydd we are one big family. I was brought up, my family were from the docks, from Docklands, so I am of mixed race heritage, and yeah, it's always been, down the docks, this area, not so much obviously in the suburbs, but yeah, that's how I grew up, knowing that a mosque was where, you know, people that wasn't the same faith as me went. And so, yeah, family, in my family personally, are all different colours. Oh, yeah, so, you know, lots of tones of different colour skin. So, yeah, it was second nature to me, you know. I just belonged. It didn't matter, you know, that I was a fairer skin to the rest of my cousins, aunties, uncles, you know, or people who lived next door to them. We belonged, we were all the same. On my paternal side, my grandmother's mother was Irish, married to a Jamaican. So they have colour from there.
I work in the Royal Infirmary in the sexual assault clinic. I'm a counsellor for children and young people. But I know this hospital from a very young age. As a child, when I used to go to A&E here, I can remember coming in to use the hospital as a child. And also, my father being Sicilian, they all came over from Sicily in the mid-60s, him and his siblings and a lot of friends, and a lot of them settled in Roath. I'm not sure why, but a lot of them did, and they all registered at the Four Elms Health Centre, which was then on Newport Road, a very small practice, but thriving. And I remember going to that practice, and then I took my children to that practice. That practice now is in the Royal Infirmary, so I'm still coming here as a patient as well to the Four Elms Medical Centre, and a lot of the Italian community went there as well and still do. I know my aunts and family members are still there. They live in Roath and they walk here. I see my aunt with her trolley walking slowly up the road. So yeah, it's always been integral to the community. I think it's a real landmark.
My name is Christiana. I'm from Nigeria. I arrived in Cardiff 2 years and 4 months ago. That was February 2019. Oh, sorry, February 2020. I live in Broadway, Millennium Court. Actually, I've never heard of Cardiff before. I was brought from London to Cardiff. When I heard like you'll be going to Cardiff, I was like, where is Cardiff? Is that part of UK? I was told yes, so I made my research online to see where Cardiff was located, and ever since I came to Cardiff, I love the environment. Yeah, I've heard Welsh language and I've been able to sing in Welsh so many times. I have a family here because I have my 2 sons with me, and I have my other family back in Nigeria. But here in United Kingdom, I have my son and my Benedict and Alfred. Cardiff as a whole is a community because you are welcomed in every angle of Cardiff. They respect who you are, your culture, your belief, what you stand for. They respect it, and you are always welcome. Especially HOSPES, Cardiff, they are doing an amazing job to be a safe place and a welcoming space for everyone seeking sanctuary in Cardiff. Cardiff Infirmary, it's a wonderful hospital. Because that was the first hospital I attended when I came down to Cardiff, and I can say vividly there were a lot of lovely people, nurses, the doctors. They are so lovely and welcoming. I did a lot of tests, same as my son. We undergo several tests, and coming from ethnic minority country. There are so many tests that
I'm Peter the barber.
To be sure, like
Peter's Barbershop, founder member.
Physical.
My dad's Greek, my mum's Welsh. We were born in Fairwater, but we've been down here 60 years in Sprott. I enjoy being with people, you know. I love abusing people. There's no discrimination. I slag everybody out. Everything's changed. I mean, we were the kids on the block when we moved in, yeah? The longest standing.
I work for a fellow in Clifton Street, Olympus, a Greek fellow, and I'd done my time with him. Then for 18 months, 2 years, I just floated all around the Greek boys. They're going away for a fortnight. No, about a year, I think, not 2 years. they're going away or they're at a wedding, so I look after their shop. And then me and my mate, we'd done the shop, we set it up. You know, he had skills and didn't have a penny when I opened up. I haven't got a penny now, but I mean, I didn't have a grant or anything like that. And there's my shop there. That's the front. That's the actual front. Even the front door was set back, you know, it is exactly like it was, except for, and that was a barber's and newsagents in 1929. I had an old fella come in when I first started. He came in for a haircut, a lovely smart fella, and he was telling me he was a lather boy in this shop in 1933. So I said, where was the sink? He said, by there. I said, but there was no pipes because we'd done the shop. He said, pipes? He said, we brought the water from the kitchen in the jug, put it in the sink, caught it in the kitchen. And the same.
My name is Singh. I was born and bred in Cardiff. I was born in 1976 and I've lived in Cardiff ever since. When this place was bought, this building was bought, it was my grandfather, one of my uncles, and I think about 3 or 4 other of our elders who actually bought this building. I think it was in 1987, something like that, 1988 maybe. And then it was just a derelict building. And as youngsters, because we only lived around the corner, we used to come here, and there used to be an open window downstairs. We used to come in and we used to muck around and play downstairs, even though it was dangerous. But it's what we did when we were younger. You know, growing up around the Royal Infirmary, you know, even the Royal Infirmary was like a playground for us. You know, we used to walk along the walls and go around the back end of the infirmary and play games. I remember once we did get told off by a couple of police officers. I think that was our first interaction with police officers. That time we told us off at the time and said, you know, you shouldn't be walking on the wall. You know, we felt safe around here at that time then. We had our elders who were still here. And like I said, we just lived around the corner. There's a little park down the end there to the left. We lived opposite. And that's where we used to gather as well, in the little park opposite our house. You know, my grandfather used to sit there. There used to be benches there. My grandfather used to sit there all the time, and I remember he always used to have sweets in his pockets. So when we used to come, he used to give us the jelly beans. so it was great. Yeah, around here. Originally, everybody lived around here. All the congregation. I came to the Gurdwara. We all lived here, in the side streets. One of my uncles, he still lives here, literally just across the road. My dad still lives here around the corner. And there's, I think there's 1 or 2 families that live to that side as well, the opposite side of Clifton Street. But other than that, most of the families have actually moved out of the area, but they still come during the Sundays. We come here to pray. Firstly, Gurdwara was to refer to obviously our place of which was the Gurdwara, the home of the Guru. It was actually a little house in Ninian Park Road. It was a house, and we used to go there. I do remember that as well. And then when our elders broke away from there, some of our elders, I don't know, there's something going on there that they do with the elders. I don't know what they argue about. And then we attended the Sikh Gurdwara in Pearl Street. There's one there. And whilst attending that, our elders then bought this place, this building, and I remember we used to hold our services in the basement, in a small room in the basement, later on, obviously, as we got this place refurbished and tidied up a bit, then we moved to the floor which is below me. This was still open at that time, so there was no floor here. It's an interesting place, especially being young children. But I actually joined the police in 2006. As far as I knew, there were no Sikh officers inside the police. One of my youngest maternal uncles, he was a sergeant in
Hello, my name is Tatiana. I am from Ukraine. I come here 1 month ago because of situation in my motherland. I escaped in March, and first I was in Poland, and I decided what should I do next. And I know a little bit English, and I decided to go in the United Kingdom. From childhood I studied a lot about this country, and it was pleasant for me to be here. When I come here, I was surprised because British people are very friendly and open. They help in any situation, and it's very pleasant to feel such help from you. Except British government also help us a lot. It's accommodation, it's financial support. So Ukrainian people have an opportunity to live here, to live, to support, to live, to work, to study, to do everything what British people can do, and it's very pleasant, very nice. I like your country. Yeah, I was in London once and come here in Wales, so I can't compare with Scotland or England. Now I'm here, and I can say about Wales. I feel that it's democratic country. People have rights. People have their opinion, and they have an opportunity to develop, to work, to study. I feel good here. I am alone here without family. My parents are in Ukraine now.
It was resolved
on southern Ukraine under occupation of Russian soldiers.
as the rules and regulations of the Cardiff dispensary.
We are in touch.
Resolved that the Marquis of Bute be president and all subscribers of £5 and 5 shillings annually be vice presidents of this institution. Resolved that the following gentlemen form a committee for the ensuing year: Walter Coffin, R. Blakemore, R. Griffiths, T. Charles, T. Vaughan, J. Langley Esquire, the Reverend T. Davis, J. T. M. Traherne, and Thomas Stacey. Resolved that the following medical gentlemen be the medical officers of the institution: John Moore Esquire, MD, William Hopkins Esquire, MD, and Richard Rees and James Lewis Esquires served, and that thanks to this meeting all new rules discussed, and the committee, treasurers, and medical officers for the year ensuing Messrs. Savoury and Co. be
11.
appointed treasurers.
The business of the institution shall be conducted by a committee of 13 doctors, including the physicians and surgeons.
And to take
5 shall be a
measures
quorum,
they shall
but this 5 shall comprise 3 who are not medical officers of the institution. This committee shall have